minutes or so. So we're just going to kind of enjoy, basically. Okay. A little bit desynced on my end, but that's okay. Well, let's see. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So early on, like these early rooms, what we're mostly going to be expecting to see, especially leaving Link's house, is leaving the door cleanly, picking up the bushes cleanly, throwing them quickly because Link moves or when he's holding an item. Just kind of lots of small optimizations, including bumping there, which you can kind of see. They don't take a necessarily straight line, kind of like do these slow angled motions. It just makes Link move a little bit faster. So our first stop of the game is to steal the sword from our dying uncle and go ahead and save the world. I guess he was too old to do it. I don't know. He turned 20 or something and got nothing to live for or something. I guess that's how video games work, right? So, a little bit of worse RNG on Parisian side there, but a lot of this I've mentioned being clean and smooth. A lot of it's going to be reacting to RNG. Most RNG is going to cost you anywhere from, I don't know, 10 frames to 30 frames in worst case scenario. Getting hit by the guard, kind of close to worst case scenario. So not significant. And we do expect to see lots of RNG in this run. That blue guard is not RNG. Sometimes you just make a small mistake with the double spin setup and kind of don't get what you're looking for there. So while RNG does cost you, it's mostly going to be movement mistakes or small mistakes like that end up costing a bit more. Good double spin from both runners there. That's kind of annoying to optimize, but not too hard to just do. So yeah, glad to see both of them connected the double spin, or the poke and then the spin, rather. And then Cheamo doing kind of the smart thing there, booming the guard so that you don't have to fight him and ball and chain. Both opting for 8/, and you can kind of see there the downside to 8/, when you don't get it exactly right. It's just hard. Don't worry, that boomerang will come back to him. It's just a graphical glitch, I'm pretty sure. He should still even be able to throw it right now. But it's not a big deal. And Cheamo did take the fight on ball and chain guard a little bit aggressively there. So he was maybe too close. It's hard to say sometimes because the way the ball and chain guard works is not trivial. But getting hit probably because he was a bit too aggressive. But yeah, overall, movement's looking pretty good for both of them. Not too many kind of just small movement errors at all. Really good stuff so far. And I did mention RNG, and we've already seen a few instances of it, but in the back, about a minute and a half here of escape, we're going to see even more. Basically, every room has either a rat or a snake that has an opportunity to get in your way or ruin your life. And so we only have this small cone of light in front of us. Reacting to that, like you see on Parisian side, slashing there is tough to do sometimes. You can see cheamo just barely missed it, but ooh, not great RNG from the ropes there. Luckily, in this segment, our health doesn't matter too much. Oh, it's kind of weird. The bat, we have a kind of way to manip the bat so that it doesn't get in your way like that, but it's a little bit precise, and you're also doing it in the dark, so it's easy to make mistakes there. And probably he was off by just a few pixels there. So getting a slightly worse key rat probably cost you about a second to get worse RNG like that, but we'll see. Having to slash twice on Parisian side loses more than half a second, so cheamo's PB is 128.01 according to his splits. Yeah, we'll see a few second difference here in escape, but we're going to really not even concern ourselves with about a 3-second difference between them, because talk about all the RNG. Escape might have the least RNG of any split in this run. So maybe Ice Palace way later on. There's a lot. So 3 seconds we're never really going to worry about too much here. Now doing some nice movement on this screen to manipulate that green guard to walk down. It's really cool. It's one of those things that you don't know until you're told, but makes it easy. Try to do some other small manips like that, but it's hard. The game doesn't really behave in a very manipulable way overall. We can see Parisian getting not the greatest Octorok RNG, but he slows down, avoids it all, which is good. And probably one of the more challenging screens in this segment, Eastern Palace Overworld screen here. Luckily, Parisian side not much, but okay. Yeah, cheamo gets a little bit of a more difficult RNG. It's a little bit touchy because the Octoroks do a full heart of damage. We only have 4 health. It's pretty punishing, actually. But yeah, getting through here pretty healthy. We're going to have opportunities to refill our health here in Eastern. So we're in great shape. And we can see cannonballs there, lots of RNG. I think it was different for both of them. I don't really pay attention. But coming up on this Stalfos room on Parisian side, taking it pretty safe. That's good, giving it a wide berth. On cheamo's opting for a few more diagonals, which is a little bit faster, but a little bit less safe. But both of them get through it easily. Just great job from both of them. And now we're coming up on some more dark rooms, which are, well, this first one's pretty nice because it's always the same no matter what. Parisian player is on the red rupee drop. I'm not sure what cheamo's on. I think that's the first drop for him. So both of them are in a pretty good spot here. You see cheamo opting to use boomerang there. That's literally just as fast as not boomeranging. It's just whatever you prefer. Coming up on another kind of cool room here, we're going to damage boost off the Popo, step on the switch, using the iframes. Okay. Parisian gets the red ruby, both of them taking an extra hit there. With 1.5 hearts, should be fine to get through the dungeon, but Parisian opts for an extra heart, played a little bit safe, also totally fine. He did get the red rupee. since he went over and walked to it, I'm pretty sure Parisian Player will be doing tree rupees later. Otherwise, we don't really care about rupee drops that much. And tree rupees are just going to be a little bit faster. We want to have 14 rupees. It's kind of our threshold. So he's at 27, in great shape now. You can see a slight difference in strats there. Yeah, so cheamo is on. He's going to get a blue and then a red. So he has a chance at the red rupee coming up soon. Actually, not the greatest of chances just due to the way the room's laid out, but more cannonball RNG. Fun stuff. So all you can really do is react there. Oh, that was really good on Parisian's side and on cheamo's side. Parisian kind of waited a bit. Cheamo got really nice RNG and played it well. Ooh, oh, okay. Okay. Alright, so half a heart in this fight is about the only time you're really worried. I don't think we should still be. We are, as a community, pretty darn good at this fight. And yeah, should be fine on cheamo's side here. Great job there. Really, the only thing wrong was the double red Igor's kind of disaster, which I missed exactly why. Probably just fired a little bit too early or a little bit too late is what tends to happen. It's actually pretty tight to get that room. And now we're going to grab boots. Boots basically double our movement speed, more or less. Cheamo's slashing because probably tried to start mashing because he tried to talk a little bit early, and he'd just be like barely away. And our first boot stack spin speed, which we'll see a few times throughout the run, which allows you to maintain boot speed throughout. Well, there's some rules, but basically the whole screen. And the only downside is you don't get to use your sword, unable to slash, so you can't defend yourself from enemies as well. Which is not too big of a deal on that screen. We're generally able to avoid all the enemies. But later on, notably on Death Mountain, it will prove to be kind of a thing we got to look out for. So I'm going to be grabbing the book. Parisian opting for this library spin speed. Same with cheamo. It is probably one of the spin speeds that saves the least amount of time, surprisingly, but it is still worth going for a lot of people, about half a second. The one leaving the library here, more people go for because it saves closer to it saves over a second. It is kind of neat just how which direction you go, it matters more. And menus are one thing that runners have a lot of freedom on where they choose to do them and how they choose to do them, basically. Cheamo opted for one there. It allowed him to not dash in the water, which is very slow. Parisian saving it for the end here, mostly to help him probably with stair movement. Maybe cheamo also recently changed where he did that. I'm not sure, because menuing an extra time there is like a muscle memory thing, I would imagine. Doing a neat little poke dash type deal on the antlion here, which is pretty quick, actually. Does really well. Both of them opting for left side torches. That room's pick your poison, do whatever you want. Nothing really matters. And that Popo room right there, this is a room where if we do it quick enough, we don't have to worry about RNG, and we're probably going to do it quick enough. On Cheamo's side, he got hit, not because I'm almost positive he slashed. He doesn't have input display, but when you dash through an enemy, you're unable to slash for like an additional, I forget exactly how much, 4 or 6 frames, but enough that if you're not prepared for it and like doing it correctly, you will mess up occasionally. It's actually really annoying. So he might have slashed just a frame too early. We've now picked up the gloves, which let us pick up rocks and other things of arbitrary weight that are more than Link can currently pick up. So now we're strong, but not too strong. And we will be able to pick up these rocks right here. Soon we will be too strong. Well, no, not soon. In about 30 minutes. But yes. Unfortunately, with this Popo room, we do have to react to the RNG. We can't be fast enough. But here, going under in this BMOS room actually does negate all the RNG because the Popos are not loaded in just yet. So it is slightly slower, but it is good. A nice shred overall because you don't have to worry about reacting to anything. And coming up here on the Land Molas fight, the strategy for this is fire arrows and pray. No, it's actually a lot more complex than that. This is a really nice pattern on Parisian's side. He's doing pretty well with it too. Nice 3 cycle. Cheamo didn't have the greatest of first cycles, but didn't panic, which is all we're looking for when things go wrong. A little bit late on these arrow shots, which is affecting every other arrow shot, which is incredibly affecting your DPS. 1 heart here, need to be a little bit careful because you don't want to get hit by the worms. Okay. And really nice on Parisian's side, that desert was a gold desert. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, still plenty of time left in the run here. Looks to be about a 20-second difference, which is literally just Death Mountain going wrong versus it going right. Which we're going to see in a second here. Really good fake flippers from Parisian there. I actually almost thought it wasn't going to work. He looked too far left. But if it works, we're not going to complain. I've heard that Death Mountain can go right, but I don't think so. Ooh. I think that's our first unintentional bonk of the run. You really hate to see those, even though they only cost like a little over a second. They just feel so much worse. So using those gloves to pick up that rock, come to Death Mountain because we want to come to a place with death in the name? I don't know. But we've got to. If we don't, Hyrule won't be saved. And, okay, Boulder's semi-behaving. Will they let him get off the ladder? It looks like it. Okay. That's what Death Mountain looks like. Okay. And you didn't get hit on the last ladder, too. That's good. Yeah, Death Mountain can just not go well sometimes. Parisian not getting the first quick warp here. Quick warps are... If you stand on a certain pixel when you either warp to the dark world or to the light world using the mirror or the portals. You save about half a second. Overall, over the course of the run, it's a little over 10 seconds. Cheamo gets it there. You see he kind of had to walk a little bit further out of his way to get it, though. So, yeah, it saves about half a second, but how much time do you spend getting it, right? And I think we're going to have both the runners here in Tile Room together in just a minute, which is some of the most exciting gameplay we can get in all of video games. And I'm surprised that nobody has picked this up as an esport yet when you have this exhilarating gameplay going on. All right, well, now that we're through it, we are immediately going to enter a room where we're accosted by mini moldorms some of the time. Uh-oh, okay. We lit the torches, one of those secret hard rooms. And both of them actually doing really great on health here, so you can see how close that mini moldorm gets to you. So that's a really good Beetles on Parisian side. Hard to do much better than that. And yeah, you can sometimes dash along walls next to pits there. There's actually space for Link to walk, so we're not cheating. Okay, Cheamo reacting well to the RNG. First bomb jump here. Nicely set up by Parisian. Simple to get across, saves about 15 seconds. Definitely worth going for. And then, yes, Kadongos. Ooh, okay, yeah. Maybe didn't expect arrows to be up next in the prize pack, but they were, and went back for them, which is probably the smart choice. Arrows are kind of at a premium in this run. So anytime you can get them, we want to go for them. Same thing there on Cheamo's side. So our drops have been essentially the same for both of them, which is great. Parisian was lining up for a north dash on Moldorm, which is bad because you're more likely to get frame ruled, but smartly kind of waited for Moldorm to turn first before committing to the dash. So didn't get the earliest possible hit, but did get a very safe one for his first hit there. But a good fight overall. Cheamo opting for some pretty safe strats there. That was really nice. This might be a gold Hera for Cheamo. It's close. Yeah, that was about a half-second gold for him. Really good stuff. Oh, okay. Gets the spin speed, doesn't fall off the ledge. That's good. Falling off the ledge is not a big deal. You can still get back to that cave. It's just slow. It just feels really bad. Parisian is going to have enough rupees here to actually skip a red rupee coming up. We're going to pull 2 trees. Hopefully the second one gives us reds. It's definitely not magic, but it feels like it. No. All we have to do is kill 4 enemies, not get hit between pulling trees here. Cheamo also opting for picking up 3 rupees there, which will also let him skip a red. The time gain between getting 3 blues instead of 2 versus 3 reds versus 4 reds is pretty negligible, so you just do whatever you are comfortable with there. But on Parisian side, he only had to pick up 2, so if he knows the strat for picking up 3 reds, he's going to save about half a second, which is really good stuff. Or really exciting, because we love saving 20 frames, 30 frames, whatever. And now we've got the Master Sword, so Link can't possibly get any stronger than he is right now. This is the Sword of Evil's Bane, strongest sword ever, right? So we're ready to beat the game. We're gonna charge headfirst into Aghanim. Alright, so Parisian not doing the strat for 3 red rupees optimally, so he's going to save a little bit because he was able to diagonal and not pick up the rightmost one, but didn't get the full-time save there. You can see Cheamo pulls it from the left. Oh, misses the rupee. So also doesn't get the full-time save. It's a little bit tricky. You're just so used to doing it, like getting all 4, because it's pretty rare that you get to skip one. That happens. I don't know enough about rupee lag to talk about it. Oh, that might have been a poke on Parisian's side. Okay. Yeah, I think it was. So, okay, it's going to cost them a little bit of time, and unfortunately arrows, and also, the hard drop. I think this looks good. Yeah, good on Cheamo's side. The heart drop is scary because in Palace of Darkness, we're going to kill an enemy that has a chance to drop a fairy. We don't want that fairy. We want it in Turtle Rock. On Cheamo's side, he didn't get any drops, which you are guaranteed to not get drops by dashing through an enemy. So we're pretty well set up to get that drop in Turtle Rock. And I don't believe either runner got the mushroom, but maybe they did. I'm trying to watch both of them. Without the mushroom, that fairy in Turtle Rock is pretty important. A lot of times it's the difference between like dying and not. So let's see what happens. Cheamo with the walk strats and avoids the guard. That's really good. Oh, okay. Really good reaction there. I'm not sure I would have necessarily even gotten that with having to avoid the guy. Okay, so Parisian opting to save his boom menu a little bit late there. But this is the first pot. So it takes 2 pots or 3 slashes to kill the guards there. So missing the first pot kind of, or 1 pot and 2 slashes. So missing the first pot cost him a little. And yeah, Cheamo's had a very nice Ega Tower here. He's managed to catch up a good bit. Looks like it was about a 15-second difference before, and I think he caught up. Nobody splits on the zap because they're not heathens, so I'll know in a minute. I didn't pay enough attention. But yeah, it looks like that gap's down to maybe 7 or 8 seconds now. More very exciting gameplay. Once again, if anybody's gotten in with esports, just like show them this footage. Come on. Right? This is all we need. Well, the estimate for this run is about an hour and a half. Maybe a little bit more if disaster strikes, but this is also not a randomizer. This is any percent NMG run of this game. And looks like 1 fewer blue ball for Cheamo. And because I was so excited about how esports this is, I definitely was counting. But I'm pretty sure it's 0 and 1. Or maybe 1 and 2. I don't know. I don't even count when I do it myself. Yeah, overall, pretty good light worlds from both of them here. Good stuff. A lot of times, a good barometer or what people are shooting for is going to be sub 30 light world, and here we had 29.55 on Parisian side and 29.57 on cheamos. Some of that is going to be up to, of course, Ag and RNG, but really good stuff from them. And yeah, 1 and 2 is actually feels more right. Ooh. Our second unintentional bonk of the run. 1 for each now. Okay. And we didn't lose. Oh, okay. That was going to bonk. Cheamo recognized it, stopped his dash before it happened. Good stuff. It feels bad to restart a dash, but it feels worse to bonk. It's also slower. So you want to avoid it as much as you can. But yeah, this split is a little bit tough because, one, our health is pretty significantly lower than what the game expects at this point. Normally, like in casual play, you'd be probably at 9 or 10 hearts instead of at 7. I forget exactly how many heart pieces are available early, but yeah, be doing pretty good health wise. So that would let you take an extra hit. The game also kind of expects you to have a couple of bottles here. And those can hold fairies for us or healing potions. So the game doesn't really hold back anymore. They just kind of start throwing stuff at us. In particular, the boss of this dungeon will do 2 hearts of damage, which gives us 3 hits that we can take, and the 4th kills us. And because of that, we really don't want to take any extra damage in this split. So we do have to be pretty precise with the movement here. And we've secured the big key here, which I guess we haven't talked about the big keys, but they let you open big chests and big doors. Yes, very... I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. Very creative. And we're going to use it to open the big chest here, which gives us the hammer, by doing a bomb jump, which is pretty precise. So Parisian got the fairy, which could be bad later on. Cheamo opting for select buffers here, which are a little bit faster than menu buffers, but your visual cues end up being just a touch different because of it. Does need to be careful. Okay, that bomb was almost placed a little bit too far to the right. But yeah, Parisian with the very, very nice hammer jump. Cheamo needing a few more buffers there, which, you know, in a race this close is definitely going to cost you. You see Parisian slashing to the side there to kind of make sure he's lined up correctly so we can fire that arrow over, which is a fairly tight gap or narrow gap. So yeah, you can see just barely missing it there. Probably was 1 pixel too low on Cheamo's side. But at least he didn't hop off, so... Parisian getting another arrow drop, which is nice. I mentioned how tight the arrow routing can be in this. Okay, well, Cheamo took a hit, which is bad for a couple reasons. 1, you're going to have to use an extra arrow there. 2, it's going to lead to 2 extra menus coming up, which is about a little more than 2 seconds. You can see Parisian at full health. You have beams. He can beam the crystal switch there. And then, of course, you can't take a hit on the boss. Or you lose a hit on the boss. Yeah, the Mimics rooms are surprisingly difficult to do quickly. So, unsurprisingly, we take hits sometimes, trying to go fast. So you're going to take 17 hits to break this mask. Sideways walks from Helmasaur are very slow. Fireballs are a little bit slow, but very dangerous for that reason right there. When they explode, bad things happen. So we want to see tail swipes. Okay. Should be fine here. Okay, we're out of the fight. Cheamo opting for a slightly different strategy here. Spin speed, which extends the hammer hitbox, makes you hit from further away. Ooh. Okay, so Cheamo waited there in hopes to despawn the fireball, but he did break the mask too early, which didn't, in fact, despawn the fireball. Personally, if you're really pushing to do this boss fast, you don't wait to despawn the fireball. You just go. And sometimes you can even kill him before the fireballs come out. But it has to be a really nice fight, and like I said, Helmasaur pretty much has to be walking down exclusively. Since we did see sideways motions there, it was probably unlikely to happen. No, it is not worth using bombs on the mask for a couple reasons. One, a bomb is worth 4 hammer hits, so you can hammer faster than you can throw the bombs. 2, we're going to want to use the hammer again anyway, so it would be extra menus to do that. And then 3, the bomb route is also kind of tight. So we can't really afford extra bombs on Helmasaur King. So all in all, just generally not going to be a strategy we see from any of the runners. All right, so here we're coming up on what, to me, feels like the most consistent split in Dark World, although Ice is also a really consistent split, aside from getting lotteried. Ooh, okay, so Cheamo opting for a redash there. That's one I haven't seen. The goal of that is to avoid the bird, which does 3 hearts of damage. Told you, now's about the part of the game where they're not holding back anymore. Everything hurts, you will die. We're going to take a quick stop here to get the flute, which is our means of fast travel. This is required to get us into Misery Mire later, and it's also just going to help us get around a bit quicker as well. Since this is a no saving quick category, it's our only means of fast travel. Save and quit menu does let you get around the map faster, but we do not allow it. Okay, so Parisian getting a little hung up on the walls there, but main idea with his movement there was to avoid that red spear guard, which can chase you down and hurt. So that's a big goal of this screen, not get hit. Yep, there we go. Both of them avoiding it nicely. Okay, Caprician carried that dash after the flute a little bit far left. Good recognition on his part to know to slash after the fact to take care of the guard. Otherwise, if you just try to dash right away, you're going to get hit. Cheamo, yep, should be fine. Parisian player had 2 blue balls while Cheamo had 1. So here we're entering Thieves Town, or which is not the intended dungeon order here. This is the game's 4th dungeon. Big idea. That was an interesting interaction on Cheamo's side. I'm not sure I've seen that before. Bonked into the wall, and then the tree pushes you. So I pushed him back. That was funny. Yeah, we're doing Thieves Town. Lots of kind of open areas for us to dash through. The enemies do hurt a little bit. You see Parisian taking 2 hearts there, and Cheamo already took 2 hearts. But not a split we typically expect to die in. I'm not quite sure how Parisian managed to map there, but sometimes we just hit all the buttons on the controller. I mean, it happens. I mean, there's been world records with a map in it, so sometimes you just got to know where you're going. Good job there in the Hellway to kind of react to the enemies appropriately. Yeah. We're going to get the Titan's Mitts, which will make us very strong. Got strong in Desert Palace, but not strong enough. So now we're going to be as strong as we can be. And this will just allow us to upgrade our sword. But I thought the Master Sword was the strongest sword. I don't know. I feel like Nintendo doesn't know what they're doing sometimes. Just making stuff up, making us play video games. I don't know. I don't know if that's the strat Cheamo typically does there. If that is the strat he usually goes for, he probably threw the bomb just a touch early. This is going to put his bomb count a little bit below the expected amount here, so we might opt for an extra 1 at some point. I think it is still available to him in the prize pack, so it could also be an option here. Well, we don't need hints in this version of the game because this is not Randomizer. Although, I mean, I look at notes sometimes when I'm speedrunning still. Does that count? Is that allowed? But yeah, we're gonna fight blind here, which yeah, not a girl we need to rescue, but in fact a demonic beast. Strange turn of events in Hyrule here. I don't understand what happens in Hyrule, but all right, good fight there. And yeah, we saw them both take a hit early on. Ooh, that spin is not good. Okay, this gets very dangerous here. Okay, opting for... Ooh, okay. Some pause buffers. Yeah, good strike. Keeps you alive. Tanking the fireball to not get hit by the head. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was smart either way, since the fireballs only do 1 heart, and the head would have killed him. Okay, so overall was a pretty even dungeon for both of them right up until maybe that last little bit there. So take a look at the lead here, but looks to be a little bit less than 40 seconds right now. So Parisian with a slightly better Thieves Town to pull ahead a bit. So now we're going to rescue the frog, which is actually a dwarf, and going to upgrade our sword. Good stuff. Right now, the Master Sword is actually kind of bad. Don't let anybody ever tell you the Master Sword's good, because it's not. It's like... it hurts how bad it is. But when we upgrade it right here, it becomes very strong. In particular, what it's going to let us do is one-shot most normal enemies and cut the amount of hits we need to do on the bosses in half, which is pretty significant, especially when boss health starts getting really big pretty soon. We're going to head into Skullwoods here, and it's going to be only 4 hits with the Tempered Sword, whereas it would be 8 with the Master. We can get 4 hits pretty quickly, but 8 hits is rough. And then especially in Ice Palace and beyond, when it goes from like 16 hits to 8, or from like 52 on Ganon to like whatever 30. It's really significant. And on the way, we're picking up a bunch of money here to buy flippers a little bit later on, just a few minutes. Skullwoods is like another kind of deceptively hard dungeon. A lot of times we watch people do it and we don't really, we're like, oh yeah, that looks really easy, nothing bad happened, that kind of stuff. But Parisian doing a good job. Ooh, okay. Doing a good job reacting to the mummies, recognizing he didn't actually pull the statue far enough, so pulls it a bit further. Yeah, pretty easy room to lose a good amount of time in, though. But oh wait, I said 40 seconds between them? I can't do math. It's 20. Hello? No math. But yeah, big key. We're going to bomb jump here. Another pretty easy one. Oop, protecting himself from the mini Moldorms there. Good job. Intentionally falling in that pit so that we can walk right through this roper right here, who will hit you 100% of the time if you're not prepared for it. That Moldorm, oh my goodness, what a jerk. That's actually kind of a big deal. Being on an even amount of hearts is actually generally less valuable than being on an odd amount of hearts, because most enemies here do 2 hearts of damage. So that one hit from the mini Moldorm kind of cost cheamo an extra hit, either on Moth or maybe from the mummies. Okay. I was gonna say the spike hit didn't matter, but then getting hit by the beetle did. All right. Well, now we're just hoping to stay alive. Actually, if everything goes well, we're not going to take any more damage. Missing the bomb drop there, so depending on his strats in Ice Palace, may or may not have an extra. I can take another beetle hit. Almost getting hit by the mini Moldorm there, so... Oh, okay. Moth, get down from there. Okay, good. We clean it up here. Whew. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. It was fast. Oh, that was almost an insanely good fight, but just a little bit unlucky there. So yeah, more, really exciting gameplay where 2 runners are doing the same thing at the same time, and it's really engaging both as a viewer and a player. I wish more games just had cutscenes like this in them, where all you do is mash text as fast as you can. Really fun. All right, so cheamo actually made up a good bit of time there in Skullwoods. This is a little less than 10 seconds apart now. Of course, that's still about any one like small to medium mistake can cost you that much time. And certainly one big mistake will be more than that. Not that we're expecting any. Coming up here on Ice Palace, Cheamo does have to be a little bit careful with his bombs. Parisian has actually 2 extras. Cheamo has just enough to get through this split. Parisian opting for the super safe strat there, the Louis strat. It avoids all robot RNG, which is really nice. So you never get hit. If they hit you, they do 2 hearts. Cheamo opting for the slightly faster strat, but you can kind of see that looked a little bit scary. That robot was maybe frames away, pixels away from actually hitting him instead. So it's pretty tight. Lots to worry about there. And Cheamo gets the quick fish, which saves a little bit of time. Turns out that that's not a circle, but actually a square that you can throw it into. So if you throw the rock into any part of the square, it'll count. Now doing Zora's Domain screen, which is a very difficult screen to do quickly, even if you're at no risk of dying or anything like that. Dashing in water is slow, so we're trying to minimize that. So any extra distance you either have to walk or dash really slows you down here. It's also really hard visually to see where you're supposed to dash. So it's just a hard screen. But with that said, it is really consistent because it's limited RNG. Okay, opting to slash the crab there, pretty reasonable given that on that little slope right there, strange things happen sometimes. So, and then opting to kill Zora, totally fair. Cheamo does as well. So skipping the guaranteed bomb drop from that would have been nice to pick up, but also with the positioning of the second Zora, might have been dangerous to go for because it would have slowed you down a lot. It's very nice to keep beams for this first room in Ice Palace here. Okay, and we really don't want to use too much magic here. Neither of them can use another rod shot, which they shouldn't have to, but just, yeah, should be fine. And yeah, we're coming up here on the bomb jump. Sorry, bomb jump. Bombable 4. Yeah, so using 2 bombs here is a little bit faster, and it's kind of the one strat you could opt to save a bomb. Only use 1. Okay, we'll have 1 shot here at Ice Palace bomb jump. Ooh, okay. So where Parisian was standing, if you face down like that, it will kind of put you in the wrong spot. If you're on the same pixel but facing to the right, you'll actually get through the bomb jump. Really silly, but it's how it works. And yeah, we see the lead change there. We only needed the 1 shot, so good job. We're seeing ice physics, which hard to control Link's movement on, but when you diagonal, you actually end up moving very quickly. So And yeah, coming up on the Cold Stare fight, which for most players is pretty consistent, but if bad things happen, they're really bad. So we're hoping for that consistency here. 8 rod shots, we're out of magic. 1 spin. Okay, we're getting poke dashes here, which is a little bit more consistent. Okay, good job. And yeah, 6 slash, a little bit less consistent, but overall it's fine. As far as waiting out of the door, I don't know. It's some sub pixel thing. I don't know exactly the mechanics of it. I would think that's true, but sub pixels are weird, and that's all I've got to say about that. Usually, it has to do with your vertical height on placing the bomb there, as opposed to your horizontal, because your horizontal look good. But yeah, probably just 1 pixel too high. And now we see it's a little bit less than 10 seconds the other way. Now, I'm not sure what they choose to do in terms of collection here. I'm going to see either on both of their sides. Okay, I mean, I respect this a lot. Only reason I don't do it myself is because it adds extra spin speeds into the game, which are the worst trick. Now, based off of splits, I think Parisian is going to get Ice Rod. Cheamo won't. Could be wrong here. So we'll see in just a minute. Getting Ice Rod on this split is a little bit weird sometimes. There's nothing wrong with it by any means. You can get it whenever you like, but sometimes you're just short on bombs, so you have to like change how you split. And that's really the only downside. Some of the menus, I think this menu is also pretty gross, but oh no, that's not too bad. 3 moves. It's not fun though. So Ice Rod is about 40 seconds, so going to be a little hard to tell how far apart they are, but it'll even back up. Well, I'm trying to do math here, and as we've already seen, we shouldn't do math on stream. It looks like they probably won't even back up until Turtle Rock. So as far as the lead goes, it'll be a little hard to tell, but can kind of see how the splits go for both of them. Ooh. So one of the downsides to doing Ether on Death Mountain is if you do get hit, you don't actually have beams for that first room in Swamp, which is a room that you don't think of as needing beams, but it is really nice to have them. So you can kind of just carry your dash all the way up no matter what happens. But yeah, Swamp, not the most interesting dungeon. Lots of small RNGs here and there that like you really don't see until you've played the game a million times or practiced every room. Cheamo slashing twice, which is not like necessarily a mistake. You're trying to slash out of that cutscene right away, so you kind of end up mashing. Very hard to slash just once there. And it only costs about 13 frames, so not a big deal. That's a pretty classic red berry RNG on Parisian's side, where you go just a touch too low and it hits you. Really annoying. I mean, to be honest, most of the RNG in Swamp is not really any more or less annoying than other dungeons. It's just that there's more of it, so we notice. That hammer dash, I actually don't know if it's faster or not. A couple downsides to it would be that, yeah, we have a party on the right there. So most people still tend to opt to the, if they do the hammer dash, they'll save it for the second time through the room because you generally clear out the enemies a bit more your first pass through. But yeah, really not too much to talk about here in Swamp. It's kind of more like Escape again. Expecting just kind of general clean movement, react to RNG well, get through doors cleanly, that kind of stuff. I think something that's really hard to impress upon people, like, I know we have a tendency to say that Light World doesn't matter, but in Light World, I've noticed players have a tendency to do a good job of getting through doors cleanly and stuff like that. And then in Dark World, there's just so much other stuff happening that just basic movement stuff like that. It's not that we forget, we just don't pay it as much heed. Especially with boots, it's hard sometimes, but yeah. We can talk about swim pumping, sure, and the 3 people on the planet that actually do it, because it doesn't make any sense. And even if it made sense, swimming is impossible, and swim pumping just makes it harder. It is very fast, though, if you get it. But yeah, it's pretty brutal. Looking forward, arrow counts here. Cheamo's actually going to be a little bit short, while Parisian should have enough. I'm going to be interested in what they do here. They do. Cheamo still has to get Ice Rod. But he was ahead a few seconds coming into the dungeon. Ooh. Just barely missing that there. Just a little bit late on those rod shots, it looked like. I don't know that hooking that key is faster. In general, hooking keys versus walking, or like just walking over keys, is typically about the same. All right, so we saw Cheamo go for the 0 cycle strategy, which I think it's worth going for if you're comfortable attempting it, just because typical worst case scenario for it is the same as not going for it at all. So you don't really tend to lose time here. Okay, so Parisian opted for a slightly different setup for the fire rod shots. Both of them kind of involve Argus pushing himself either into the wall or into the corner to give you a little bit more time to hit the shots, but it's still pretty tight. We saw both of them miss it. They didn't miss by much. Would have been just a couple of frames. With that said, we have another gold on Cheamo's side. Which is good stuff, and yeah, no math. I looked at the splits and I was like, I don't think that's gold. That shows what I know. But yeah, so we won't really know exactly where they stand until Death Mountain, basically, but it does look like Cheamo probably made up a couple of seconds on Parisian, or extended the lead by a couple of seconds, probably. But hard to say. So yeah, the main reason why people opt not to get Ether in the Mire split, but instead Swamp, so that you have beams for that room that cheamo just did, Mire 2. Doing it quickly without beams is a little bit tricky. With beams, way easier. So just having that consistency for the room is good. And additionally, we really don't want to take too much extra damage in this dungeon. It's like we're going to intentionally take at minimum 7 and at most 9 hearts of damage. So, wait, 9? If you take 9, should probably practice Vitreous. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. The slug is scary. I don't know who decided slug should do 4 hearts of damage. But they're not a good person. That's how I feel about that. Yeah, but the bombs only do 1 heart. Okay, tried to slash the Wizrobe there for a shot and extra heart here. It does have a couple of options. There's going to be another Wizrobe in our way and can hook the heart that's in our way, so you can dupe them. And oh, please, slug. You could go for lobby key. It's really slow. What I would not do, okay, is go for Spark Gamble. But if you don't know how to do the room otherwise, it's tough. All right. Well, we're coming up on our first set of damage here. Let's put us at 4. Yeah. So if we can get up to 6, we'll be in pretty good spot. So either a drop plus the heart or duping the heart. Ooh, okay. 5 you can still do, or we're gonna opt for just a safer strat on Vitreous, which is probably gonna lose just a few seconds, but not dying is pretty important. A death to this boss is about 2 minutes. 2 minutes time loss. So yeah, taking that room really safe. Normally you're able to beat the fireballs, but oh, nice heart drop there. Okay, that's good. All right, 6 hearts. It's not comfy, but it's way better than 5. Parisian getting a little hung up on the room. Took an extra heart of damage, I think. So 8 hearts, definitely really comfortable. So yeah, the reason why we're going to take so much damage here is because we're going to damage boost through the green liquid on the ground. Why is there so much of it? I don't know. Okay, just a little bit slow, mostly because of the left eye there living. But through the fight, just all we want to see. All we want to see. Ooh, Parisian taking a hit there. Looks like messed up Spooky in some way. I didn't see what happened. Ooh, yeah, it's a lot to keep track of when this doesn't go exactly the way we expect. Luckily, we do have this extra bomb. Without this bomb, we wouldn't be able to get to here to hit this switch. I had no idea what those anti-fairies were doing. Hello? Oh. Okay. This is more tense than Meyer needs to be. All right. If you're looking for reasons to not get Ether in Meyer Split, here you go. It's just this stream. Okay, can't opt for any more spins here, so... Okay, gonna come to the wall here. This is also, I mean... Okay, no. Oh! This is not what you want to see. Okay, that was really close. We're live. Arrow count is not where we want it now. It was already maybe going to be a little bit tight before, but... Early Dark World was way nicer than this. We do still have enough to get to the arrow count we want, but it's tough. Not easy to get. But yeah, with that, it is safe to say cheamo is in the lead here. Having to do Vitreous like that is very slow and also very scary. So, glad to see we got out of it alive. But let's see. I guess check entrance times, but it's probably about a minute difference now. Which just needs another mistake somewhere along those kinds of lines, right? Or a bunch of small ones to even this back up. I think maybe you could have gone below that dead rock there, but it's always tough to say in the moment. I'm really all rich. And we need to remember here that Parisian does not have the ferry. So this could be kind of scary Turtle Rock too. Especially since we do want to take damage. Now, please, Dead Rocks. We're going to take 3 from the roller here. Just so we can dash through and save a little bit of time. Part of that is because we're also expecting a fairy drop most of the time. So health is not too big of a concern early in this dungeon. It starts to be a concern starting in, this upcoming room where Chain Chomps will eat you and take all of your hearts. We really don't want to see that. Okay. Chain Chomps, please? Alright, we are still expecting the fairy on cheamo's side, though. Another option that we have in this dungeon is also to mirror out of the rollers, which is a little bit slower, but it does save those 3 hearts of damage, which can be pretty powerful. Looks like we're still going for the D-boost here. Respect it. You do things a certain way and you get used to it. Oh, we're getting bunnied. This is fine. Now, do we know the secret unbunny tech? We do not. Alright, so if you press A when you come out of the bunny animation, you actually save, I forget. It's a lot. Significant amount of frames. Okay. Please change jumps. Why are you the worst? When people try to argue that it's not the worst room in the game. Up to 20? That's unbelievable. Now, if we get really lucky with drops on Parisian side, we might actually be able to wrap back around to the... yeah, we might be able to wrap back around to the ferry. We have a potential for up to 8 drops between these 3 pokies, and it's 7 drops away. So that would be pretty slim chance, but it is technically possible. What we're mostly concerned about is that on 3 hearts, literally everything in this dungeon will kill you. So we're definitely not comfy anymore. Yeah, laser skip, definitely a point of concern. Okay. The low one, oh, nice arrow drop. That's really helpful. I guess the advantage of not getting the ferry early is getting the arrows there. Okay, so all right, we're fine, and we did pick up a couple of hearts, so we're on 5 now. Although we're gonna take a hit here. Oh, we fell off. Secret to this room: just hold up left after you pick up the full magic pot. So this will put us back on 4, and 4 hearts is what the laser does, and also what Trinex does. So still not where we want to be. So not killing that mini Helma is always annoying. Oh no! Alright, so Parisian walked just a little bit down. I guess maybe he thought he was falling off the edge there, so he walked down into the laser. This is a really hard decision to make in the moment, but just fall. Like, it's going to be slow, and it's going to cost you a heart, but it's not going to kill you. Yeah, it's definitely not over yet, but that is pretty significant. It's going to be close to 2 minutes, or right around 2 minute time loss, I think. But that is really this game for you. I mean, what it boiled down to was a small execution error in Aga Tower, and then you don't get the drops you need or want in Turtle Rock. Fairy, please! What are you doing? Look, sometimes the game just doesn't like you. I think that's what it boils down to. The good news is we have the key, so we don't have to do laser skip again, for what that's worth. Probably not too much, but it's something. I'm sure that if Parisian had gone in the door, the fairy would have simply gone into the wall more. But yeah, here on Cheamo's side, we're seeing Ganon's Tower. This is definitely a split where lots of time could be made up or lost. Unfortunately, probably not about 3 minutes worth of time. And we certainly don't hope it's about 3 minutes worth of time. But yeah, it's a very difficult split, very long split too. Ooh, okay. Good recognition that he didn't have the iframes. I missed exactly why he didn't get the iframes there. But it's nice to keep beams, although not exactly important. And I say nice mostly just because you don't want to lose too much health that you don't have to. So yeah, you're gonna see some pretty nifty stuff here. Actually, we are short a bomb. Where did we not get a bomb in Turtle Rock? I guess no. I guess yeah. No. Not with the strat we did in whatever that room is. All right. So yeah, that's the thing about this room bombing this floor open. Whenever you do it a little bit different than you're used to, if you're not careful, you will get hit by that anti-fairy. Honestly, the magic is slightly more concerning than the HP even at this point. Generally, we expect runners to make it through Ganon's Tower without dying, even if they do get chipped down to like 2 hearts or something. But the magic can be a bit tight early on. So all we have to do is remember the magic here in Spike Room and we're okay. But again, there's just like a lot of things to remember all the time. So, all right, we got the magic. We're fine. Oop. Yeah, so if you're a little bit slow or a little bit fast with your arrows, they'll hit the spike, which instead of the mimics, because the spike is just a little bit higher than the mimics usually. Or maybe it just overrides them. I don't know why. You always hit the spike, you never hit the mimics. So it's just a matter of timing there. So generally you're not expecting that. Took an extra hit there. Once again, probably going to be fine. The biggest area of concern is these upcoming 5 rooms. Generally, we don't really get hit in the first 2. Or if we do, maybe it's by the BMOS for 1 heart. But the rooms following this are definitely more dangerous because we have these Zazics, which do 2 hearts of damage, conveyors and spikes, and ice traps we're trying to avoid as well. But yeah, ooh, okay, good job there. And also, it's pretty uncommon to take damage in Gauntlet 5, although it definitely happens. Because uncommon in this game just means it happens to somebody at least once a day. Good 1 cycle on the Land Maulers refight there. And then these Wizrobe rooms, like, honestly, we're not worried about them unless you're on 4 hearts. And then we try not to panic. But yeah, it typically goes really well like that. Opting for the heart pickups. That's good here. It's just a little bit safe. All right, now if Parisian wanted to, he could skip the arrows. We're going for it. Okay, with 9 arrows, it's maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but certainly an option here. All you have to do is get an arrow drop, and you'll be fine. Also, it does save about 3 seconds. It's pretty significant. Ooh. The spike trap. Okay, and then this is the issue with 9 arrows. Okay, there's an arrow in this right pot. Okay, good. So yeah, it's about 3 seconds to get that arrow chest, but sometimes just having a bunch of extra arrows is nice just for your peace of mind, even if you don't need them. And on Cheamo's side, we're coming up on, in my opinion, the hardest boss fight in the game, Aghanim 2. This is like so incredibly hard to make decisions in the moment of where to stand. A relatively easier pattern there, but Like this pattern right here. Hello? Who comes up with these? And a lot of this fight is about mitigating time loss, not so much about doing it quickly. So 4 cycle is definitely pretty safe here. Pretty reasonable to get. Especially in a race setting with awful patterns, like a lot of times it's tough to do better than that. Oh, I was kind of hoping for Ether Strats, even though it would have kind of ruined the magic. But Ether Strats and Gauntlet are extremely consistent, which is what's nice about them. But on to the Ganon fight here. We're going to need 12 hits in this first phase, which we got all 12 there. I don't know if that first one counts. All right, 12 hits in the second. I'm not sure we're going to get there. Maybe we... No. Don't think so. I think we're probably like 3 hits short. I know it's hard to believe, but standing inside of the bats is both more consistent and safer. So I really do think people should practice standing inside of the Ganon bats. The last bit of RNG here. How many times will Ganon warp? Too many. Please, Ganon. It's 50-50. Just stop. Please. Oh. What a boss. And one last trick here. Ooh, okay. Alright. No reason to panic here. We're just going to switch to using the lamp here. Now, it is pretty easy to get doubles if you're comfortable with it, although sometimes we kind of don't realize what we're doing, like the first time because we panic a little. But yeah, lighting the first torch as Ganon fires a bat from the top, and then lighting the second just whenever you get to it. Totally fine to get doubles here. And we should be fine the rest of the way. And with the lamp, we're not in any danger of running out of magic or anything like that, so I don't think we have any huge concerns here. But yeah, Torch Glitch is got a fairly narrow window to hit, which would definitely speed up this fight a lot. And if you're feeling lucky, you can go for doubles up top too, but it's kind of sketchy. Yes, just baiting these fire bats, getting out of the way. Ooh, that just missed. Ah, that looked so good. Pretty sure that counted as 2. Yeah, and GG's cheamo here. Ooh. Really nice run till the very end. We just had one small mistake. Best out of 3. Unfortunately, we're trying to keep this tournament moving pretty quickly, so probably won't see best out of 3 until deep in the bracket. It's probably just like grand finals or something, but and here we're going to see Parisian need to get those same amount of hits here, going inside the circle here, which, like I mentioned, pretty consistent, or more consistent, pretty easy, really safe. Gets the 1-1 there. Is it no best of 3? I would also believe that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Look, there's so much documentation, you can't expect me to read it all. And we see Parisian get Torch Glitch here, which will let us line up for some triples. It is going to take some pretty precise fire rod timings. That particular one, top middle left, is the tightest of them all, and just barely missed it. But this one we should see pretty simple triple here. Yeah, nicely done. Only downside is we didn't recoil ourselves to set up the next set of triples, which is the trickiest part, but should be another good triple here. And yeah, probably just about done with this fight. There we go. GG's to Parisian. Good job finishing it out there. See a little, just about 2.5 minutes between them, with the death in Turtle Rock at 2 minutes there. Really close there. And yeah, the one thing that every video game should have is really nice credits, which we have. So it looks like we are joined by Cheamo here. If you have anything to say, let us know.
Hey. Yeah, that was a good run, except for the parts that weren't.
I mean, it really only looks like Ganon was the issue there, right? I mean, 2 golds ahead after GT. That's really good.
Yeah. Typical early game was not that great. Gold Hera was surprising, but yeah, then Pod and Thieves were both not good. There's lots more to save there, but everything from Woods to Skull or Turtle Rock was really good. GT good. Ganon was a disaster, which will happen on pace, I guess.
I think every person on the planet has missed Torch Glitch at least once, so.
Yeah, and I actually lost my first race of this group against Kelpsy by running out of magic after missing Torch Glitch, so apparently it's something I need to work on, but I was too worried to like use any fire rod shots there. I just slowed it down a bit, but yeah, I was a fair bit ahead, so I guess it didn't matter too much. I just didn't want to like run out of magic or anything.
It's totally reasonable. I don't know if you were watching. If you know you're ahead, like there's no reason to panic, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in my PB, people yell at me, they're like, I can't believe you went for Fire Rod Torch Glitch. And it's like, I don't know, you get nervous or whatever, right? You're on PB pace and it's just harder. It's not the same 13 frames that it is anywhere else in the game.
Should be free, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, so
shoutouts to that bomb slug Meyer, which put me down like way too many hearts to feel comfy.
Yeah, so I don't know if you didn't know, but you can also hook the heart to hope for a dupe, or if you just didn't want to try because it's in between the 2 skulls and it's not easy to do.
Oh, I never thought of that. I don't really know how to do it. I know about it, but
yeah. It's just a frame rule. You just hook the heart, and 1 out of 4 times it doubles. So.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, really good run. Honestly, even Pod, like I thought was good, other than the extra buffers at hammer jump.
Yeah, I don't normally select buffer, but I hate that diagonal up to get 1 pixel up, and in a race, it's just too costly if you screw it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like 15 seconds to fail, but also ruins your bomb count a little bit. So.
Yeah, I was down a bomb most of this run too from what I normally have, which was kind of a pain. And then I should have picked one up in Turtle Rock. Forgot to do it in the entrance. Forgot where it was in the whatever cane dash room. And then I don't really know the strat that well in bombable floor if you're at 0 bombs, so it was a little bit dodgy.
Yeah. So the bomb is on the top right skull, the one that would normally walk right past anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I think I got confused between that strat and the one where you have no magic. I think you go the way I did, which is, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, makes sense. And also joined by Parisian player here. GG's.
One
GG's.
moment. Okay. Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Well, it's a weird fight. It's a weird race for me. It's my best light world. And after that, it's pretty messy. I lose time almost everywhere. And definitely, I lost it at the block in Meyer, and after that, it was pretty pointless. And also, like the fact that I messed up the ferry was very costly, and despite that, I decided to go for the damage boost in the roller room. But the chomp's pretty bad RNG, and I don't know what I had to do with that RNG here. So,
I thought you actually handled it appropriately.
yeah.
The only thing I might have done was when you were baiting the chomps to attack you, you kind of walked down a little bit. So if you stand a little higher, maybe they'll end up a little higher so you can get past them a little more nicely. But then again, it's chomps. Like I said, I think you did it the right way. Just they suck.
Yeah, just only 7 heart there, and then I don't know I guess I just freaked out at the laser escape. I thought about just not betting on anything and just falling, but and also I didn't know at all what was his advantage entering T-Rock. I don't know if he was like 1 minute or.
It was about 70 seconds, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty much after admire that. Then I should not be too pissed off about my T-Rock. And then again, so I said in chat for gold, but as soon first thing I do is I miss the hook dash. So I was like, okay, nice, and. It was so bad at the beginning that I decided I know that, so I'm 1 win 1 loss, and if I win the next one, we have a 3-way tie, and I know that the tiebreakers for this, I think is average race time, and so I needed. I didn't want to die in Gans Tower again because I know Kelsey has like a 134 average, I think, and because Cheamo had a very bad first race, his average might not be so well. So I wanted like to assure myself with a decent average time. Like it's not glorious, but that was my decision there. That's why I went for the ferry at before the gauntlet.
No, makes sense.
And yeah, GG Cheamo, by the way.
Yeah, GG's. That was a really tight race up until like Meyer or something like that.
Yeah.
Swamp maybe. It's a little hard to tell because their routes are different, but I felt so behind after. Well, when I saw you got gold in desert, and my first few splits aren't really very good, it was just like felt like I was a mile behind since you're like a slightly better player already.
Well, you have a better sum of bet than me, so I knew you. With after your de-resting that you would PB quickly, and we both PB'd yesterday, and after that, yeah. The thing is, usually my light world is not my best. I'm normally better at dark world, and yesterday and now today I have a very good light roll, and with the goal at desert, I'm like, okay, that gives me a very nice chance now in the race, and because you play very nicely too, and you have one blue ball, and I see that we are tied after Agony, I'm like, okay. What now? And I need to play now extremely well, and yeah, Skullwood started to be not that well. I had a very bad fight, and Ice Palace, the bomb. Oh yeah, that's my question. What happened on my second attempt on the bomb jump?
So you were on the pixel where if you face down, you get kind of clipped into the corner and you don't make it. Whereas if you face to the right, you'll clear it. And that pixel is you're standing one pixel too high compared to what you would normally be.
Yeah, but from what I understood, I knew that I failed the bomb jump, so I'm going back to the door. If I hold directly left, then I'm poorly pixel and I'm one pixel too much up. But I waited, so do I need to wait more, or is it an illusion and I should not?
I'm really not sure. I haven't looked into it too much myself. It's some pixel nonsense, and some pixels are the worst. So theoretically, you should only have to wait one frame if you wait, right? You might have accidentally hit a diagonal. Would be my other thing in that room. But since you got it the other time, I don't think that's the case, but it could be, right? So.
Yeah, that's what people said in chat. Like Shady Force said it a couple of times. Might be that, but so yeah, I need to win tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think you
can. Sorry.
I think you can, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm way favorite for it, but I'll be needed to repractice a couple of stuff, and definitely, as I said, I also admire the block. I don't know, when I was in front of it, after I failed my dash and I was off cycle and I was going to get hit probably by a fireball if I was continuing. I could not recall the orders of my inputs, and so it was a disaster. Also, yeah, usually, when you have the pot, you're perfectly lined up after that to put the block. And after the pot was not here, I had difficulties to figure out where to put myself. And so all this plus the pressure plus I told him did wrong.
I mean, it's tough. I don't know, and especially you got hit, I think, more than you meant to a little bit in the dungeon. So I don't know. It's just a dungeon that spirals, right?
No.
But yeah, any other last thoughts?
Nope.
All right. Good race, guys. I thought it was really good.
Thank you very much for commentating.
Thanks for the commentary.
And see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, thanks so much, both you guys. And thank you, Dal, for the comms. It was pretty awesome, actually. We've got one more link to the Past NMG Glitches tournament later tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. That one is New York Rambler versus Satan Spawn. And so we'll have that one. In the meantime, I will go ahead and raid our main channel, ZeldaSpeedRuns. They're doing an Ocarina of Time item randomizer Freaky Friday race. But yeah, be sure to follow the runners and the commentators, and thanks so much, everyone.